So what does it take to have a sustainable career like 20 years, just like myself? There are so many things that you will need. It's easy though to enumerate, to sum them up into like 10 major points, let's say 10 major steps. First of all, you will need a proper management. And by management, I mean, it could be a friend, it could be someone who truly understands you. That's number one priority, someone who truly understands you. And from there, you develop that relationship, and gradually you just take baby steps into your strategies and everything to put your product, the reflection of your soul on the market, because music is a reflection of your soul. So you need to find someone who understands it fully and who is willing to put it on the market together with you. Secondly, you need to find a record label that truly understands you. And by this, I mean a record label that's crazy enough, just like you, to follow you even in the darkest places of your soul. And I have made a few experiments myself with music, and I found myself extremely lucky to have been signed for over 23 years now with the same label, and they've always been fully up for change and exploration, experiment, and everything. So that's really, really important that you find the right people, not necessarily the people who sell the most records for you, because yeah, this is gonna make you happy for like a week probably, but over the years, what's gonna really make you happy is how the music you make. After all, this is all that matters. The third thing that's truly important is to develop your musical catalog. So you have to be a bit prolific, a bit creative, and you need to create a lot of tracks, a lot of content, so that people can easily identify with the rest of your catalog. So you do a first track, and then you do like a myriad of other tracks, and just because they heard that first track, they will basically gradually come to the other content that you have created. So you have to be creative and prolific. So developing your catalog and finding the right balance with the help from your label's A&R is really important. Self-improvement. You have to become a perpetual student of your own music, of your own skills and everything. You have to develop them. I see myself as an eternal student. It started like in 89, 90, 91, and it's never gonna end. I'm gonna learn new things every single day. It never stops. You've never seen or heard it all. The fifth thing that's truly important is originality. And originality comes with how prolific you become. So you have to hear new music, you have to constantly get surrounded by new genres, new styles, new artists, new production techniques and everything, so that you build that growth into your sound, so people can immediately identify with your own sound, which is basically the case with hopefully most of my records, and you will become resourceful because of that. So it's very important that you build this from the ground up by making good records, and then you will automatically build that originality and go for it. Let it just flow into your music. Don't be afraid to combine things that haven't been combined before, because that fear of the unknown is holding you back. It's holding your soul and thus your music back. The sixth thing that is truly important: think forward, guys. Never look behind you. I can tell about that because behind you there is a lot of events, past events. Think about it positive, of course, but tomorrow could be your last day on this planet, and you will have to face your last day on Earth without having been able to make the music of your dreams. So every single day you have to wake up with that vision. I'm gonna create the music of my dreams. I'm going to explore new territories. I'm going to inspire other people. I'm going to get inspired first, and then I'm going to inspire people. So think forward, not backwards. The good outcome is in front of you, not behind you. Number 7 is extremely important, especially in those times of internet, continually connected, 24/7, with the social networks, instant messages and everything. It's never gonna end. This is the noise. I call it the noise, the surrounding noise, and you have to ignore it. If you want to have a clear vision, you have to close the social networks for a while. You have to just focus on your art and your vision. Just focus on what makes you feel better, and on top of that, focus on what makes you grow up, both mentally and musically. Number 8 is a very important point throughout my career. It's the fact that you have to collaborate a lot. And you know my story. You know, in 2001, I got the chance to make a record with probably the greatest DJ of the history of dance music, called Armin van Buuren, of course. And you know him, you know how big he's become. It was a dream come true for someone like me to make music with Armin, because we were like-minded musically back then. And it was a breakthrough moment of my career. I finally understood what collaboration meant. Of course, there have been other collaborations, such as other projects of mine and everything, the bands that so they all formed my musical background, you know. The bands that I used to run with Jürgen, aka Fire and Ice, Cape Town with several members, including Fairy Tale, that you know probably from the trance scene and everything. Over the years, this created a background that was actually very, very critical for my personal growth. That made me grow up as an artist. That made me prolific on top of that as Airwave. So collaborate is something you will definitely need, also for the fact that collaborations mean human interactions. Very important when you do something with, you know, with just a box of CPUs and electronics and everything. We use those electronic devices. They are lifeless. The life we put into the music is coming from ourselves. By collaborating with people, you give your music another flavor. You give your soul an alteration. That's truly interesting. So collaborating is everything. Number 9 is extremely important. It's the fact that you have to praise your own fans. Most of them will praise you, of course, but it's extremely important that you get it. the more you praise them, the more they will give in return. Some of my fans have become, well, my best friends, my very best friends. Needless to say, if you have friends like this, you just keep them for the rest of your life. You just and they will love you, whatever happens in your life, regardless of the music you make. Could be, you know, they will love you for whoever you are. So interact with them, build that strong and healthy relationship with them, and you will never have to worry about, you know, your amount of fans or likers or followers, because these people are gonna always be around you. And here comes number 10, which is the most important one, and the one that pretty much is self-explanatory. It's the fact that you need unconditional love and passion for your art, for music. If you don't have that, none of the 9 other points that I mentioned over these videos will ever happen in a good way. If you don't have the love, unconditional love for your music, you will never find a manager or someone who's going to help you out with the everyday tasks of a professional musician. You will never find a label that fully understands you. You will never grow that catalog with a good A&R and everything. You will never improve your skills or yourself, you know, as a human being. You will never be entirely original. You will never be resourceful either. You will never think forward. You will never be able to make music as if it was your last day on earth. You will never be able to ignore the haters and the people who might have a negative impact on your music if you don't love your art, if you don't respect it. You will never be able to collaborate with the right people if you don't love yourself throughout your music. You will never be able to develop that relationship with your fans if you don't love yourself, thus the content of your soul, the reflection of your soul, which is your music. And that says it all, you know. In 1988, I discovered that record, and this is how it started for me, you know. It was a very important record in my life, and without this record, we wouldn't be celebrating this year. You see, that's the accomplishment of 20 years, and none of this would have been possible, or even this, mixed compilations and endless tours, gigs, overseas, things you've never seen before. I mean, this 2008, this 2003, and the list goes on and on and on and on, and the fans, they like it. So love is really what matters, not the business you put into, not the effort you, the effort will come naturally when you have love for music. So that's it for this video. I hope you liked it, and see you in the future.